Hello everyone. They are building over there is an abandoned Kmart on Mission Street Southeast in Salem, Oregon. This time we'll be exploring the inside building. So let's check it out. Shall we begin? Here we are. This building seems to be in a good condition. Honestly, it's a lot better than the other inside abandoned Kmart in Portland I explored last year. That place wasn't in terrible shape, like literally. If you haven't seen the video, please do so in the description below. Aside from that, I have so many things to say about this particular location here. This old Kmart store, the very first in the state of Oregon, opened on April 30th, 1970. I never knew this was the first one in my hometown. I thought it started somewhere in Portland, but no, I'm wrong. Yes, I'm aware that the company was founded in 1962 in another state. Anyways, on January 14th, 1971, a huge portion of this building's roof caved in due to heavy snow. They were forced to close the store while they were doing major repairs for several months. Then the store opened again on June 24th, 1971. About the front windows, they got covered in black in 1997. Finally, the store went out of business on November 19, 2017, lasting 47 years of business. After the store closed, a farm and supply store had the idea of taking over this spot. Then they decided to back off because this building contained asbestos and they didn't want to hire professionals to do an abatement. It was probably expensive to do so, which is completely understandable. Don't worry everybody, I have my excavator equipped. The farm and supply store were able to find another location elsewhere in Salem, which is fortunate. In case you're wondering about the farm and supply shop name, it's called Coastal. Anyways, around the late 2019, a hospital bought this space and was being used as a storage facility. They didn't bother renovating the place, thankfully. Well, except they added this another flooring layer. They're easy to feel from what I can see. Then in July of this year, they have finally vacated the building and is now for sale again. Let's check these old fitting rooms. This is the men's. The fitting room intended would have been standing right here. Check this out. That's pretty cool. There's the stall doors. This area is very tiny from what I can tell. Looks pretty neat though. Interesting. Here's another one. We're approaching the women's. This area is a lot bigger and it has more stalls than the men's. This is not the original fitting rooms, by the way. According to the blueprint, the original one was located in the front building to the left part near the garden center. I'll show you later. The inside was way different back in the 70s. Thanks to the blueprint for a better explanation. There are so many blueprints in the documents in the electrical room. I was expecting to find those here and I was right. Looking at those floor plan stuff is pretty fascinating. As a kid, I used to be so obsessed with it. And now, not as much, but I still like seeing them once. I'll show you where the blueprint is later as well. Imagine rebuilding this Kmart by using the blueprint in a video game like Minecraft. That would be so freaking cool. Although I'm not a gamer anymore. Oh, by the way, this was my childhood Kmart. I almost forgot to mention about it earlier. I used to come here several times when I was growing up. If I remember correctly, I think this section used to be the kids' clothing. The adults' clothes would have been in the back, I believe. Man, this place is humongous. Unbelievable. Oh yes, I remember seeing this layaway sign. I thought the sign was pretty cool looking one before it got removed. Here we got the personnel office. Let's check it out. Whoa, these wood paneling walls are straight from the 70s. Dang. I bet these are the original ones when this place opened a long time ago. That's so sick. We got this lovely vent. I never noticed this room when this was in business. The door was always shut, if I have to guess. And we're approaching the whole layaway department. That's a pretty old counter. Nice. Here we got electrical panels. Again, that's the office room we saw earlier. Here's the layaway back room. Small though. There had to be a shelves here at one point. I could be wrong though. It could have been something else then. They ain't so outdated here. The floor is incredibly messy as heck. Some ceiling tiles are missing. Now that could be asbestos. Trust me, you definitely don't want to breathe in with those huge amount of toxic dust. That's why I wear a respirator like I mentioned earlier. Anyways, let's check upstairs. I'm gonna bet that this area would have been the elevator stock room. It's pretty big as you can see. This is creepy but cool. I tried turning on the light but it doesn't work. I remember other times when I came here earlier it had power. Oh well, since the power is out, nothing I can do about it. Whatever. At least I'm grateful that I got a lighting equipment with me. Ooh, you gotta see this. Holy Jesus, that's a classic Kmart logo. You see, that's why I love exploring inside abandoned buildings in general. I always love to see unexpected devices. It feels like you're trying to find hidden treasures. You know what I mean? You never know what's inside in vacant places. We got other big machines as well. They had to be there the whole time. Check this out. Wonder what's this? Nothing out of the ordinary here, I see. Well, just two random water bottles. Layaway crew, please don't put any merchandise in this area unless you run out of room elsewhere. Thanks. Cool. Let's check the circuit breaker out. Got colorful wires. This is an AC machine. Over here, that's the roof access. Interesting. Now let's continue exploring my area over there. Here we are. There are windows to view the surf floor. And more other things as well. Here's the view of the 7th floor. I do remember seeing those things on the wall a long time ago. I thought they were announcement speakers at first, but no, I'm totally wrong. I'm sure these security windows were common in the 70s and the 80s. These were way before security cameras became a thing. So imagine being an employee watching the 7th floor for an extended period of time. It must be a boring job. These kinds of windows have benefits too. I can see the outside building if anyone's around or not. Man, so many old school stuffs everywhere. I would love to go back in time to the 70s and see this store myself. I heard they used to be so popular back in those days. Since we're done with the 2nd floor, let's head downstairs. I don't know if my parents ever did the layaway thing. Anyway, let's head over to the restrooms. There it is. That first door on the right is the women's room. The layout looks nice. This bathroom smells so bad from what I can remember earlier. Obviously a small looking bathroom. It's true the majority of older cameras had their smaller restrooms. There's no water in that toilet bowl. Oh, this one has water in it. Not surprised. Got 2 sinks. A trash can. Now let's check out the men's room. Got the men's signs on the floor. I remember seeing this. Got 1 urinal. 2 stalls here. This one has water. The other one no water, but it's clearly dirty. You got 2 sinks. Baby changing station as well. Same thing for the women's. We're done, let's get out. Here we got the water fountains. Let's see if they work. I thought so. Oh yeah, I want to say something about this particular area. I have a funny story that happened to me before. This occurred around 2008 or 2009. Well, anyways, when I was a little kid back then, my mom and I were looking for clothes for me. Suddenly, I happened to see my friend I knew since elementary school walking through the clothing department. He happened to see me and did try to say hello to me. Well, you know what I did? I ran away from him and hid in one of the clothing racks. You gotta realize that I was very timid back then. I think my mom and my friend laughed. That's when I was like, okay, I'll meet him and have a brief conversation. At the end, everything went okay. Fast forward to high school, we were talking about businesses that no longer exist. I talk about Kmart, and that's when he asked me why did I avoided him in the store. I told him I was shy. I'll never forget this moment overall. Anyways, let's check out the employees' offices. Yep, more wall paneling walls. Nothing on the shelves and the desk. Kmart credit card self-processing and emergency information. Got the bulletin board. That's pretty old. Let's check this electrical panel out. Pretty typical. We got another stairway to the second floor. We'll check it out soon. Bet there are offices. More additional rooms. There's the cube shelves. Here's the men's break room. Jesus, this room is super small. There would have been tables, chairs, and such. And here's the employees' bathrooms. Oh wow, this is vintage. The bathroom never got renovated throughout the years, it appears. Everything had to be the original. If this never got renovated, then why are the main bathrooms in the third floor got remodeled? 1 urinal and 3 toilets. No water at all. Check this one out. Men. No merchandise to be taken into this room. Yo, you gotta see this paper. Wow. Amazing. I think there was an event or something. I don't know otherwise. This room here is the women's staff lounge. That's the security camera. Here it is. It's a lot bigger than the men's staff lounge. There's also a room behind me. Wonder what this was. The wall paint is slowly starting to fall off. That doesn't look good. Look at this. A perfect hiding spot. It's messy in here. Now let's check the women's bathroom. Another old school sign. Yep, more outdated bathrooms. This one smells awful. Got a mirror. 4 stalls. 3 sinks. This one has no water. Same thing here. Again. And the last one. Now that's done, let's get out of here. Would you look at this? Take a step towards saving energy. Keep doors closed and turn off lights behind you. Do your part to conserve energy. We're gonna check the second floor and see ourselves into. Here we are, just 2 rooms. Don't even know what this was. Could have been the manager's office. onto another room. I don't know anything about this. Half of the wall is white and purple. I like it. Now let's head downstairs. Here's the mail sorter. There's a small window as well. Another bulletin board. I guess this one would be in the main office. This portion of the carpet looks pretty terrible. Not good. A mail sorter once again. The light doesn't even work much anymore. I remember it was working well, but now it's dying. Why would there be stickers here? That's strange. And this one right here is a cash cage. The wallpaper. These plants look so familiar. Of course, we all know where it is. They are pretty common to use them in the US. The wallpaper is just a funny looking one. Yo, you gotta check this one out. The Kmart Vault. I checked the small door earlier and there's nothing in it. Yeah, that thing is so heavy. Stop. State your name, department number, and nature of business before the store will be opened. So here's how it works. So basically every Friday, employees will have to stand in line to get the money. This was before direct deposit to the bank account became a thing. Don't know what those things are. Let's check the last room. Got a big desk. Bet they're heavy to carry. The store keys. That's honestly amazing. There are so many of them. That was pretty interesting what the employees' offices look like. We're back in the sales floor again. Let's check this out. There would be merchandise here. I think this is the additional stock room because the main stock room is on the other side. Looks like it was a storage room. There's a stairway to the second floor. We're gonna check it out soon. Let's check the other room. This one is a lot bigger than the other one. This has power. That's a good thing. Just like the other room we saw earlier. Got a sign about do not smoke in this building. Still perfectly in good shape throughout the years. Oh, by the way, I actually went here inside last year and there were literally a lot of hospital furniture and supplies. I did actually film the inside, almost everything. I then decided not to edit and upload the video because for obvious reason. Here's the thing, I wasn't too impressed at the footages I made because like I said, there was stuff inside. So I decided to wait for a year to have them vacate the building. And I'm finally filming this old Kmart again, but this time empty. I wasn't expecting that I was going to return back to this building. Aside from that, I did actually film here when they were going out of business. Initially the video was supposed to be long, but unfortunately it didn't work out. I can explain what happened. At the time, I only had an iPad and I recorded the store obvious instead of being discreet. That's when an employee saw me recording the place and told me not to do it anymore. So I stopped it and I then decided to head to the bathroom and waited for a minute. Then I got out and decided to record again on the other side. Suddenly, another employee started approaching to me and shouted at me to not do it again and leave the building. That's when I had to give up and finally got out. I was just a teenager at that time and I should have known better. Now I learned my lesson not to film it obvious but rather undercover from now on. Fortunately, I got a phone and I rarely film open businesses with no issues. This Kmart closing video is still here on my channel. If you haven't seen it already, please do so in the description below. Wow. That is a beautiful Kmart logo that I clearly remember. I like how they didn't bother painting white onto that logo. Play to win. That's a neat looking one. Looks like I'm assuming this was the employee's game room or a party room. I have no idea otherwise. Additional areas for the merchandises. Got openings here. Oh, they still have the for lease sign. I thought the hospital got rid of it. I don't know why they bother leaving it inside the building. That's pretty unusual. Usually whenever a business takes over a vacant building, the available/for lease sign gets removed. That's what I thought about it. Oh well. There's a ladder instead of stairs that go up to the second floor. Here's what it looks like up there. Just empty. There's the garage door. I think this door was shut all the time. Employees weren't allowed to take items out that were either damaged, outdated, and such. I have heard stories about Kmart employees doing wrong stuff leading them to get fired from work. My former teacher from high school told me that she worked at the Kmart as an associate in Tualatin. One time, her manager decided to have a party at the house. So the manager went to the cafeteria daily and installed a meat for the gatherings. Then the next day or so, the manager got fired for doing so. When my old teacher told me everything, I was like, wow, that is insane. If you're watching this, a big shout out to you for letting me know about your story. Unfortunately, the Kmart in Tualatin is no longer in business. Alright, so this particular wall used to be a cafeteria. I heard they were very common when Kmart was spreading everywhere. Your old kitchen in there has some random stuff in there. I'm not even lying. Yet another storage room like the other two we saw earlier. I don't know if that vent works. I do know for a fact that the big vent in the surf floor runs well. This one leads to a hallway. Don't worry, we'll take a look at it as well at some point. Right now, let's focus on the old kitchen. Speaking about this vacant Kmart, they never had their Caesar and K Cafe after the cafeteria was no longer in operation. The store also didn't have pharmacy and portrait studio at all, if I'm not wrong. I don't know. Maybe they did at one point. Here's the result. I think the first floor might have been a pantry. Oh wow, this is old. So it seems like there are rodents living in this building. No wonder there's a lot of traps for them. I don't know what this was. And we're in the old kitchen. The rule on how you use the slicing machine still perfectly intact. The running couldn't fade it out. Most of the kitchen equipment are gone. The front still has the hood but it's boarded up. Backroom location. What an irony considering how empty it is at this abandoned Kmart. It really gives me a limited space vibe. Wow, look at this. The cookie baking instructions. It's kinda unfortunately getting faded. I wish it was still intact so we could easily read the whole thing. I mean, there are still statements that are visible. That's a good thing, at least. There was a doorway here at one point. The whole scene is still presentable. Got electrical panels. I wonder if the old kitchen room was being used as a storage or a stock room. I'll probably never know. I never got closer to this area when this was in business. We're checking another storage room. Whoa, there's a Kmart logos on those two things. Kmart Celebrations by American Ingredients. I do remember the store selling ingredient cards. They both have several light bulbs since there are cords sticking out. I wonder do those lights still work? Who knows for sure? Ad signs would have been hanging here. That would be so cool if there are any old advertisements here. I'm not seeing anything particular about it, sadly. I just wish there was at least one or two. Hold on, look. A wall appears to be broken. Probably a hospital facility working accidentally hit something with it. These are the remaining Kmart fixtures that were never sold during the liquidation sale. Right after the store closed, I initially thought the inside was 100% empty. I wasn't able to take a peek at the windows because they were boarded up. My goodness, look at this. Okay, there's a high chance that those are asbestos that are already damaged. I definitely have to be super careful about it. The screening door leads to the stock room. More storage room too. Interesting. I like that cubicle speaker. Gotta walk slowly, I want to see your room. This is unbelievable. Jesus. Here's an office room. Yet a lot of wood paneling walls. A typical vent. Another one too. He didn't see this earlier. To be honest, I was surprised that the hospital didn't bother removing these remaining shelves. I don't know why though. I'm not gonna lie, I kinda wish they were gone. It just looks sad and depressing, you know? Guess they didn't have enough time to remove the shelf, which is completely understandable. These features are in good condition. They can easily be reusable for other businesses that need them. Not just the shelf, I'm also seeing counters. I remember that section being the toy department. That also had to be an auto center surf floor a long time ago. It's true that this whole Kmart had an auto service outside at one point. I think it turned into a Penske auto center in the 90s, if I'm correct. If they did, they didn't last that long. They would have been closed back in 2002. Right now, the old auto center is another auto shop. That's the only business that is still thriving in part of this old Kmart building. In fact, I do actually remember as a kid while passing by, the old auto shop stood abandoned for a while. I think this room may have been something for those items. Can't tell what it was exactly. We need to check the door in the corner of the wall. The hospital forgot to take these benches out. How could they not double check everything, making sure they have all the stuff when emptying the building? I think they were probably in a rush, if I have to guess. There it is. This one is very tiny. Here we are in the old toy department. I don't remember if I got any kinds of toys here. Once again, this is a vintage circular air vent. I thought it was pretty cool while I looked at it. It didn't scare me at all. Although I have heard some stories that people during their childhood age were terrified of these vents. There's the emergency at the doors. The chain is adjustable. I don't know if this alarm works. I'm obviously not going to touch it. I think the fire bell is off. Let's see what it sounds like. That's pretty neat. I'm glad to know that the fire bell is still in good condition. No maintenance, employees only. More and more storage room. Cool. I don't know why there's a screen here. The stairs are looking dirty. Let's go up there. This is creepy. More classic Kmart logo as usual. Seriously, these abandoned Kmart is like a heaven for me since I've been seeing a lot of cool stuff lately. Oh, the other thing I want to say about this store when they were closing, I wasn't the only one who filmed it. There was another YouTuber who actually recorded the store in 360 view. I have to say that was a pretty interesting video. The link is in the description below if you want to check it out. Got an empty shelf here. These papers are really old. What is over the old Kmart merchandise? Aside from that, I want to give a huge shout out to Lara was here for documenting the last Kmart in San Juan, Puerto Rico. I always want to check that place out in the east. So if you're watching this, Laura, I want to thank you so much for filming it before they ran out of basement. She does do everything like I do. Subscribe to her channel if you could. That would be super helpful. I'm not sure if the old school thermostat still works. I still like how Kmart was able to keep those security windows until they closed. Just to clarify, they did indeed have security cameras in the ceiling in the old sales floor. For some reason, I'm not seeing them anymore. Looks like I'm assuming the hospital removed them. That could be the answer. I'm going back to the first floor. We're gonna have to walk through this empty shelf. Check out those price tags. This used to be an outdoor stuff department from what I can recall. I have another story about this particular area. In the late 2010, my parents and I were shopping. I happened to go to this section and started looking at Christmas mini lights. I asked my mom if I can get it for my grandma. She then said yes, and I was happy about it. To this day, my grandma still had the Christmas lights, and I think it still works. It's so weird walking through this empty shelf. This pen costed 23 bucks. Honestly, that doesn't sound bad. This price was reasonable as if the rest of the others weren't. No wonder why a majority of Kmart stores shut down for good in the past several years. The sliding door would have been the outdoor garden shop. I don't remember me being out there. There were barely some stuff. It's true that all the garden shops closed down earlier prior to bankruptcy in 2018. The red wall over there was obviously the electronics department. I do remember seeing a lot of TVs in the wall. I did happen to see the first Shrek movie play on those TVs in the mid-2017 before they were gonna close. I thought the electronics department layout looked neat. It's kinda weird not seeing any merchandisers anymore. I was kinda sad to see Kmart go. I used to like it at the beginning, and then around 2016 or so, I didn't like it anymore. The reason why I'm saying this is because some parts of the store were disorganized and looked depressing. I understand other people may not like the store company too, and most of the other people loved Kmart back in those times. Thank you for shopping at our Salem Kmart. Not anymore. Oh yeah, a bit unrelated to this. Well, could be. Anyways, I'm aware that there was a Kmart in Eugene which they closed in 2003. A while ago, I was looking on Google Earth in historic areas of that particular Kmart in Eugene. Needless to say, the rooftop images look like this. I am certain that the exterior and interior building setup will look exactly like this. I haven't been to a Kmart for several years. The last time I went was in 2019. It was in the Dalles and I managed to film it. If you haven't seen the video, please do so in the description below. Oh yes, about the original video rooms I was talking about earlier. The first were all started right here. They just simply moved over there. If you notice the pillars, the shapes are rectangular, something like that. The pillars behind them are cylinders. With those rectangular columns, I wonder if the original poles got replaced into this after the heavy snow disaster. I think that's how the original video room ended up relocating at the end. I'm not sure exactly of the story. Could be wrong though. Different right here with the greeting cards and the beauty sections. There's the old Kmart coupon from 2005. Wow, that's so old. Too bad it went unnoticed until it was found by me. Anyways, does anyone has particular memories of this old Kmart? Please let me know in the comment section. It's hard to believe that many customers shopped and employees worked here in the past. That one over there, they saw better stuff from what I can remember. Now we're approaching the employees' hallway down there. There it is. I think this may have been an additional stock room. It's pretty big. These vent rectangular pipes are enormous. Onto the next room, looks like it's a small storage area. Some random things showing itself. Not surprised. I believe these kinds of signs with stocking were pretty much common in every other store. We gotta check this room. There you go. Dang, this is sick. Everything's turned off. I remember the machines were running loudly earlier. More colorful wires. That's rad. The door is actually locked, so there's no way I can enter because of this. Someone on YouTube told me that's for reasons. He told me that he used to work at a Kmart in Beaverton and did some cleaning of the machine. He also mentioned that when the fan was in operation, employees couldn't open the door to your blower rooms as the doors were self-locked for safety as they would later get pinned to the grate in the blower. Yeah, that would be really dangerous if somebody were to be inside. I just realized something. If this fan machine is turned off, then why the door is still locked? I think it's jammed or I don't know otherwise. So this particular room was used to control the heating and air conditioning of the store building connected to these vents we saw earlier. Oh look, this notebook appears to be a document for these machines. The earliest occurred in the mid-2007. The last writing stopped in the late 2015. That's insane. So this is what the machine looks like. They had to be there the whole time since 1970. Man, I'm fascinated with those setups. There's some information on the wall. Just mostly instructions on how to use these systems. There's some kind of diagrams we are seeing right now. I can actually open this door. Here's what the HVAC machine in the mechanical room looks like. I'm not seeing a fan blade, but I think they can be seen in the first door that is not open. For example, when I explored the inside building Kmart in Portland, I did happen to see a large blower motor in the mechanical room. However, the model looked very different compared to this. I thought the blower motor model looked pretty amazing. It's not there anymore, unfortunately, due to the fire. I really missed that place, honestly. The abandoned Kmart building didn't deserve to be burned down. I was so upset to hear the news. Here's another notebook document. Again, this occurred in 2007. Two 2015 is when it was last written. Let's check this last door. Just an empty room except there's dirty air filtered from the dust. There's so many of them. Wow. No wonder the machine is humongous. We're done, let's keep checking other rooms. Another storage room. Or maybe this could have been a stock room because of this. That could be a possibility. Heading over to the electrical room. The size of this room is pretty small. Got a vent there too. Wow, there's so many wirings. Yo, that's the old Sprint logo from the 90s. The company doesn't exist anymore. More circuit breakers. employees would have been able to turn on the camera signs outside. These are the blueprints I was talking about earlier. Like I said, there's just so many of them. I could spend hours looking through everything. I don't have time for it, unfortunately. Here's just the doors. The alarm device got removed for no reason. It was probably worn out and didn't work anymore. Now let's head over to the main stock room. Here we are. First we have to go up there. I don't know what this area would have been. For the former store employees who work here, please let me know what this particular section was used for in the comment below. Thank you otherwise. Inside the wood, it will be the baler machine system. Dang, this is pretty big. And all sink and others presentable. I highly doubt it was a shower. That would be weird if it was. I think this may have been another storage room. We're gonna see the baler machine in a few seconds. Interesting. So here's what the baler machine looks like. I don't know if they still work or not. There's a long chain preventing the store to be left unlocked. That's a real looking setup. That sign had to be there since the early 90s. It's getting fade out. Too bad. Here's the garage door. I remember half of the facility workers were opening their garage door to load some furniture and supplies into their truck. More Kmart signs. The conveyor belt still works perfectly fine. This area was obviously where the merchandisers would have been. They had to be shelved everywhere back then. More emergency exit doors here. The alarm device got removed as well. That screen door obviously leads to the cell floor. Let's head to the second floor. Additional stocking room on shelf would have been here. I personally think having two storage in the stockroom is useful. You can literally call that vampire like in the movie. I'm not kidding. Got some writings on the wall. They definitely belong to Kmart. Look at this date. July 25th, 1970. Wow. I'm pretty sure the employees would have hang out around here, not just being in staff lounge. Nice. Going down. Let's check the final electrical panels. I like those classic word fonts. This one doesn't have a lighting directory sheet. It could be confusion on which one to turn on the specific lights. Except there's some writing here. No one has seats. Same thing here. That one too. Now it's time to go to the second floor hallway that we haven't seen. This is where we're going to start here all the way until the end. Here we go. Here we are. Oh look, the old Bayou Village, which is right next door. In fact, I actually went inside that abandoned thrift store last year in December. I have a video of it also. If you haven't seen the footage, please do so in the description below. Thank you otherwise. We're gonna check some security windows. I almost forgot to mention that I have few camera videos when they were open. They are in Beaverton, Gresham, and Corvallis. If you haven't seen them all yet, please do so. There has got to be a creepy hallway ever without those powers on, but it's pretty fascinating at the same time. I don't know what's the future for this former Kmart in Bayou Village. I would not be surprised they sit abandoned for the upcoming years. Although it would be insane if this Kmart sits abandoned in 2027 might in 10 years are non-existent. Most people know that Kmart had more than 2,000 locations back in the 90s. And now there are two of them left in the United States. One in Bridgehampton, New York, and one in Miami, Florida. Seriously, Kmart shouldn't have bought and merged Sears in the first place. A big shame on Eddie Lampert for not caring about both of these store companies. He did mention that he was going to do something about it, but he failed to do so. All he cares is the real estate stuff. That is just plain sad. You gotta realize that Kmart started to decline back in the 90s too. I heard Kmart had a chance of acquiring Walmart, but that never happened. I sometimes wonder what if they bought them. Maybe Walmart could have also failed and not many stores would be everywhere by now. Those installations are made out of fiberglass. I wonder if they will replace at some point. Anyways, these stains are definitely related to the kitchen below us. I also want to point out that there was another Kmart in Salem which would have been on Portland Road. That one opened in April 1977 and then they closed down in February 1995. My parents used to live near that store and they would sometimes shop at that location. It had to be in the 80s back then. Right now, the old Kmart building is split into three tenants. The first one is a flea market, second is Highway Freight Tools, and the third one is a church. I also believe that the auto center is still abandoned. Had to be something else, but it got abandoned again. The cool thing about that building is that they still have the old Kmart look. The flea market and Highway Freight never bought renovated the inside except the church. I think the only thing that was never used is the garden shop. I just wish that Kmart up north didn't have to close in the mid-90s. They could have still been around in the 2000s until the end. Oh, the other thing, my mother took me to Kmart in Albany, which was 25 minutes away south where my picture was taken in the portrait studio. That had to be a long time ago. I was likely an infant child. I obviously don't remember being in there anyway. The Kmart closed down in the late 2014 and the building got torn down for Winco Foods. And the concrete wall ends here. Anyway, got some notes in the wall. Some different ones on the floor too. Now that I'm done with the exploration I showed you, I'm going to use an angle shot of this place. So hope you enjoy. There's screen after for video. Make sure to give it a like, comment, share by doing so. And until next time, peace out.